Osrc News at 7. Wife of Ondo State Governor hints at taking Be More initiative to other states as 2022 edition gets underway. Commercial activities in Akure at lowest ebb to mark Haheregbe as Isikon Market ignore festival for trading. Chief of Defense Staff expresses commitment to securing schools ahead of resumption. And from the foreign scene, residents of Mykolaiv in Ukraine struggle with infrastructure 6 months after Russian attack. Good evening and welcome to the news. My name is Remy Allen. 378 girls are participating in the 2022 edition of Be More Initiative Empowerment of the Wife of Ondo State Governor, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu-Akeredolu, holding Akure, the Ondo State capital. Mrs. Anyanwu-Akeredolu, while reiterating her commitment in impacting knowledge into the children, expressed desire to cover other parts of the country with the life-changing program. Government House correspondent Omori Olagbeji reports that some physically challenged persons were among participants undergoing training on various keys over the next 2 weeks. The Election Petitions Tribunal sitting on the July 16 governorship poll in Osun State has granted Governor Gboyega Oyetola's application to serve Ademola Adeleke, the candidate of the People's Democratic Party in the poll and governor-elect, notice of the petition through substituted means. Oyetola had challenged Adeleke's victory at the poll before the tribunal and also joined the Independent National Electoral Commission and the People's Democratic Party in this suit. The tribunal at his maiden sitting today in Oshogbo also granted the motion ex parte filed for an order for inspection of documents in the custody of the first respondent, Independent National Electoral Commission. The National Executive Council of the Nigeria Bar Association has ratified the suspension of Mrs. Joyce Odua as the General Secretary of the association. Her suspension was ratified at the NEC meeting, which is part of activities of the NBA Annual General Conference holding in Lagos. On August 15, the national officers of the NBA had suspended the General Secretary pending the ratification of the NEC. 9 of the 11 officers who signed the resolution authorizing the suspension also reserved to refer her to the NEC for disciplinary action and to recommend her removal from office for gross misconduct. Mr. Uchenwa Diallo's appointment as acting General Secretary has therefore been ratified. The Nigerian Society of Engineers NSC Akure branch has reeled off activities lined up for its 2022 week. The chairman of Akure branch of the society, Engineer Ezekiel Oloruntola, during a press conference at the NSC Secretariat in Akure, said the theme for this year is focused on oil and oil alternative mix for energy sustainability in a developing nation. Joy Pius completes the story.
The Nigerian Society of Engineers, NLC, is a professional body founded in 1958 and a national umbrella for the engineering profession in the country. The society is said to have distinguished itself through its progressive and imaginative program towards professional development of its members as well as technological advancement. Members of the society converged on the NLC's secretariat in Akure to intimate pressmen on activities lined up for the 2022 Engineering Week. Addressing journalists, the chairman, Nigerian Society of Engineers, NLC, Akure branch, Engineer Ezekiel Oloruntola, highlighted some of the achievements of the society in past years, adding that the event is another avenue to recognize deserving individuals. According to him, due to the present power crisis in developing nations, and Nigeria in particular, a lecture focused on the oil and oil alternative mix for energy sustainability in a developing nation will take center stage.
Statistics have shown that over 60%, 70% of the Nigerian population does not have access to electricity, and globally, more than 2 billion people still lack access to basic energy services. We are advocating for clean energy as alternative to fossil fuel as source of energy. Clean energy from water, from wind, and solar are very accessible and environmentally friendly.
The chairman reeled off the week-long activities to mark the Engineering Week, which kicks off today, 22nd of August 2022, with this press briefing.
Engineering activities that commences today is an annual event that ends NSE year. We call it Engineering Week. Lectures, visitations, awards for deserving individuals, annual general meetings, and the election of new executives form part of the program.
The Chairman Planning Committee, Engineer Oluwaseun Adeyeye, said all is set for a successful program.
They should expect a better thing, because by that day we have a lot of programs which have highlighted and more of it, and they need to come earlier and they should bring their friend. They will know what the sunshine engineers that we are doing.
The 2022 Engineering Week would climax with an award night on Saturday, 27th of August 2022, and Thanksgiving on Sunday, the 20th of August 2022. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
You're watching Osrc News at 7. We'll now take a short break. Please stay with us.
Do you know that about 20 courses of Nigeria's first University of Medical Sciences, UNIMED, located in Ondo City, Ondo State, cost less than 200,000 naira for a whole academic session? Do you know that since the establishment of UNIMED Ondo in 2015, there has been no strike or any break in academic activities, even during the COVID-19 lockdown? Do you know that you can apply to study in UNIMED Ondo, irrespective of your choice, in the last JAM, as far as you scored 160 or above? Visit our website www.unimed.edu.ng and apply now. Application closes August 28, 2022. The post-UTME exam holds between August 30 and September 1, 2022. For further details, call Ms. Funbila Dapo on 0813-5513-654. Again, 0813-5513-654. UNIMED, for learning and community service.
You're welcome back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook OSRC TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. Ahead of the resumption of primary and secondary schools across the nation next month, the Chief of Defense Staff, General Lucky Rabo, has pledged the military's commitment to securing the nation's schools. Federal and state government officials, military and other security agencies met with school owners and representatives of parents in Abuja to re-strategize on how to secure schools and fund Safe School initiative. General Rabo, who was represented by Rear Admiral Chubuike, the Director of Education, Defense Headquarters, noted that terrorist attacks on schools had led to the closure of schools in parts of the country. He said the nation's armed forces are committed to securing Nigerian schools, adding that the federal government is committed to ensuring a safer teaching and learning environment. The federal government says the newly completed Terminal 2 of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos has the capacity to process 40 million passengers per annum. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, while inspecting the terminal and its state-of-the-art facilities and fittings, said the new international terminal was not built to replace Terminal 1, but to complement it. The new terminal is the first added to the original terminal since it was built some 40 years ago. Today was an unusual day in Akure as business activities was almost non-existent due to the celebration of the Hayerigbe Festival, which requires that markets and shops be closed. The age-long festival has its roots in the steps taken to cleanse Akure from evil in the past, as well as rituals to foster development, as OSRC's reporter Zaid Aribisala completes the story.
An unusual Monday in Akure metropolis, the ever-busy Obadeshida Road witnessed few vehicular and human movement. Markets and shops closed, while public transport jostled for the few passengers in town.
Because of the lockdown of the called Dududu, so and Dududu is affecting our passengers. You know, marketers are not going to market. The people who are passing by are just at home because there's no activities to attend to. So the Dududu of 18 is affecting us.
At the center of this occurrence is the Ahiregbe Festival, an age-long tradition which requires that trading activities be put on hold for the whole day during the celebration. The festival, which according to history originated from Obaile in Akure North local government area, stoked controversy following the directive of the Deji Obalade Toyibo Alade Lucy on markets closure in Akure and its environ, a move unaccepted by the Isiko community.
Away from the empty streets and the closed shop, this location is where the main celebration appears to be taking place, where the Asoga, who is the chief enforcer, and his groups are galvanizing themselves for action.
The Asoga, who is the chief enforcer of the festival rules, spoke at the palace of Odokpetu. Away from the demands of the tradition, this woman is left to count her losses, following claims that her shop was looted by those allegedly parading as partakers in the festival. While it remains to be seen what the Ahiregbe Festival brings forth next year, expectations are high that the concerns of residents over the hijack of the festival by suspected miscreants would be addressed. Sahid Aribisala, OSRC News.
Meanwhile, the Iralepo of Isikon, Oba Oluwagbemiga Olofin Adimula says Ahiregbe Festival is alien to the customs and traditions of Isikon people. He noted that the security concerns expressed by Ondo State government prompted its directive to close markets in some parts of Isikon. OSRC's Zaid Aribisala reports that buying and selling, however, took place in the popular Isikon and Adebowale markets, all within the domain of Iralikpo of Isikon.
Buying and selling in swing here at Isikon markets. Traders out with their commodities on display despite the seeming controversy around the opening or otherwise of markets in Akure and its environs due to the Ahiregbe Festival, which forbids buying and selling. This man journeyed to this market in Isikon from Ikare Akoko to sell off yam tubers from his farm.
So this year now, because no market, some people say they open market, which one you go do? Now to open market now. If they know open market, I will sell it to our carry.
While some sellers did not display their goods over fear of uncertainty, some of the buyers and sellers transacting expressed joy over the avenue to do business.
We have experienced many bad experiences. But this year, we thank the government, we thank the king of this place, the Aralepo of Isiko Market, for this opportunity. I'm very, very happy. At least we have a place to buy things. Our children, our family, they will not be hungry today.
The Iralepo of Isikon, Obaluwagbemiga Olofin Ademola, in a statement, had earlier directed markets in his domain be opened, in contrast to the stance of the Deji, Obalade Tuibo Alade Lucy, who had ordered the closure of markets in Akure and its environ. Follow-up to his initial directive, Obalofin Ademola prevailed on his subject to close shops over security concerns following intervention by the Ondo State government. He maintained that the Ahiregbe festival is alien to Isikon custom, and as such, its demands cannot be adhered to.
We have our culture and tradition different from the Akures. We are Isikons. Our own number is called Oralopo. Our forefathers founded this place called Isikon. We are never on Akure soil. We don't have anything in common with Akure other than we are neighbors, and we are both in Akure South local government, and we give respect to the leader of Akure as the first class Oba in the local government. That's all. Iralepo is the Oba of the people of Isiko. I am the sister Oba to be installed in Isiko, and that's our tradition, that's our custom, that's our belief. Our fathers founded this place called Isiko, and the market in Isiko, and our soil. So it's only Iralepo who can order closure of Isiko market on ceremonial days. Akure Festival terminates at Mogu by St. Martin's Church.
The operatives of the Nigerian police force who visited the Isiko market to enforce compliance to the closure of markets backed down from the mission, but positioned at strategic points to prevent a breakdown of law and order. Though the uncertainty and controversy surrounding the festival prevented some shops along the Arakale Road in the domain of Iralepo to be closed, the community monarch is optimistic that such will not occur again. Sahid Aribisala, OSRC News.
The federal government says it remains committed to ending Nigeria's reign at the top of the global malaria prevalence table. Minister of Environment Hassan Abdullahi reiterated the determination of the present administration to further reduce the malaria scourge to the barest minimum through deliberate targeted interventions in policy implementation. According to the minister, several efforts have been made internationally, nationally and locally to combat the malaria scourge. He also said Nigeria was in line for the WHO-approved malaria vaccine as soon as it becomes available. Moving to the foreign scene, 6 months ago, the Ukrainian city of Mykolaiv was nearly captured by Russian troops, but it mounted one of the most successful defense of the war. Ukrainian forces pushed the Russians back to a front line near the Dnipro River, which was barely moved since then. But the situation in Mykolaiv remains dire for the people that have chosen to stay in their city. Juliet Buna reports.
It has become a daily routine waiting for drinking water in the city of Mykolaiv in southern Ukraine. Luda Klaus says the water in the tap is contaminated.
Bombs are destroying us. The water pump was attacked near Kherson, so we're without water now. There's dirty water in the taps. We can't use it to cook food, only to wash our feet and use it to flush.
6 months ago, Russian forces tried to capture Mykolaiv. The Ukrainian army managed to repel the attack and push them out of the city, but people like Alexandra Okovesina continue to struggle.
I won't go anywhere. This is our land. We will stay here. I thought that because of my age, I was going to have a nice life. But no, every day there's shelling.
But it is not just the water. Thousands are being forced to leave the area. This man's house was destroyed by 2 Russian rockets. His family have left the country, but he says he had to stay. All men of fighting age are banned from leaving the country.
They had attacked before, but no one expected that this area would be targeted. It's not clear what they aim for. Could be the factory behind, but you see, they target people, residential areas.
And there is no guarantee Russia won't try to take the city once again. Rockets continue to be fired on the city, bringing down homes, schools and healthcare facilities. The streets look empty, except for barricades made of tires that show the city is ready to resist a Russian occupation. Authorities are struggling to restore electricity and gas supplies before winter.
The Russians will not pull back. They won't stop. However, as of today, we have everything in order to face them. We will meet them and fight them. We won't give up.
While the fighting goes on in the southern and eastern parts of the country, millions have managed to escape, but many others are reluctant to leave. It is their home, they say, and the need to remain here is greater than the constant danger they face. Juliet Buna, Osrc News.
Former Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan is facing terrorism charges after being accused of making threats against the police and judiciary at a political rally. Supporters have gathered outside his home in Islamabad, warning of mass protests if he is arrested. The Islamabad High Court has granted Khan protective bail till Thursday. He lost a non-confidence vote in April, but in struggling economy, his popularity has surged. And on sports, Sunshine Stars Football Club Akure have unveiled Edith Agoye to take over from Emmanuel Dredge as the club's new head coach. Agoye left Shooting Stars Sports Club last month after a 9-year spell as assistant coach and head coach of Ibadan-based club. Announcing the signing of the 46-year-old tactician, Ondo State Commissioner for Youth and Sports Development, Dele Ologun, said Sunshine Stars went for Agoye based on his track record as player and coach. Ologun assured that the club would give the new coach all required support to ensure he succeeds on the job. Still on sport, the Falconets of Nigeria have bowed out of the FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in Costa Rica after a 0-2 loss to Holland. In the quarter-final, Nigeria could not reenact earlier performances. We saw them win all 3 group games in the tournament. Holland will now meet Spain on Thursday in the first semi-final after the Europeans beat Mexico 1-0 on Saturday. Brazil, who also edged out Colombia 1-0 in their quarter-final tie, will play Japan, who eliminated France on penalties following a 3-all draw after extra time. That's Osrc News at 7, but before we go, another look at the top story. Wife of Ondo State Governor Betty Anyanwa has expressed the desire to take a Bimo Empowerment Program to other states as the 2022 edition gets underway with 378 girls participating. Commercial activities in Akure today were at the lowest ebb to mark Hayerigbe, even as markets in Isika opened for normal trading. The Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Lucky Rabo, has given assurance to secure schools ahead of resumptions next month. And from the foreign scene, residents of Mykolaiv in Ukraine are struggling to rebuild 6 months after Russia's attack. And that's the news. Thanks so much for watching. Good evening.